to the shit show. It probably ain't gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be fucking good enough. My name's Bo. I'm the brains of this operation here at Good Enough Construction. And fair warning, if you don't like foul language and construction humor, job site talk, you get your panties in a wad easily, this ain't gonna be the fucking place for you. Quick backstory on me. I've been in this shit for a long time, my entire life. I have a degree in construction engineering. Been a project manager for a construction company in the Forbes 500. They ranked in America's largest private companies list. I've owned and operated my own business for about 18 years now. Had anywhere from 2 to 40 employees. I've seen my fair share of shit. Never once have I put my tools down. I'm always going to have my tools with me. Might have to run somewhere, run to another job and look at something and bid a job, but I'm going to come back and we're going to roll. But that's it about me. Let's talk about what we came to talk about here. And that's everybody's favorite. And we're going to start it off with the general contractor's son. And I will smoke on here because I just don't care. We're here to have a good time. General contractor's son, they're never, all the ones I know, never good at shit. They show up. They buy a truck because daddy has a truck because he's a contractor. And they show up. They're really good at sweeping. And I've noticed they're really good at, like, cleaning out the tubs from the sheetrock mud. Because, you know, sheetrock guys, they like to just make a damn mess. And nobody wants to cover the tub. Windows, all the orange peel spray on the windows. They're good at yard cleanup. They're really good at yard and making burn piles. I don't know if everybody makes burn piles, but down here, we pile everything up and we burn everything. That's what we do. I would say the next person that really, gets my gears is probably gonna be the perfectionist. And not that there's anything wrong with being a perfectionist, but it's the ones that like go through the prints, look through the prints, on a residential job, and they spend 15 or 20 minutes in some prints for a 3-foot knee wall. I don't understand why they got to go so deep on that, but they study everything. We had a guy one time, and I don't remember what we were building that particular time, but he would sit there and he'd look at it and he'd walk away. He'd come back and look at it, and he did this shit for fucking probably 2 hours, back and forth and back and forth. And it was something that was going to be covered up anyways. So, I mean, what's the point? But he kept on and kept on. We finally got it built, but it's like we don't do good enough work as a whole. If something's going to be covered up, I mean, if we're doing a fucking, outdoor kitchen bar or something like that, cut a stud that's, a tad bit short, I'm not going to recut it. It's good enough. It's getting fucking covered up. If it'll support it, it's fine. I mean, if it's getting covered up, I have some leniency. Finish trim, finish carpentry, we're a lot more perfect with that. But I'm not. If something's getting covered up, I mean, let's fucking go. I don't have time to stand around and wait and rub chins and smoke cigarettes and have a fucking ballpark meeting about it. Like, it's gonna have sheetrock over it in a week. Just fucking fill it in. We had a guy, belt guy. We had a guy named Darren, and he was a belt guy. This son of a bitch had every single tool you could imagine. It didn't matter what we were doing. We could be doing cinder blocks. All right, 2 weeks ago, we were doing an outdoor kitchen, doing the bar, and we were putting 4-inch top cap on it. So we was mixing the mortar and laying the blocks, and he comes out the truck with his bag on, and which is fine, but we're doing fucking, some mortar and some blocks, so you don't need anything. But he would have a cat claw, chalk box, pencils, snips, squares, pliers, bits, the whole fucking bag, complete everything. And we're laying blocks. Like, dude, you need a board and a wheelbarrow and a hoe, and a spade. Let's go. Doesn't matter what we do. We could be nailing joist hangers, and he's gonna have every single fucking tool. Which I guess with that, it's not as bad because you're still doing, some framing work at that point. But I can't imagine carrying all that extra weight, for the whole time you're doing something you really don't need to. And his cousin was the dirty dude. That's the next one on the list, dirty dude. And these are the motherfuckers that show up looking, all right, diesel mechanics. That's not even where I was going with this, but there's a good example. When they show up to work in the morning, they they look like what they look like when they got off. His cousin, they would cut, and that somebody have sawdust from his fucking head to his feet, and it would stay there. He wouldn't brush it off. He wouldn't use the air compressor. He wouldn't do anything. It fucking sawdust be in his ears all day long, and I peel out of mine. I'm gonna come out of my clothes, and I'm gonna blow myself off. But it could, sheetrock dust. If we're doing a little sheetrock patch job, they're gonna have sheetrock under their eyes and their nose and their nostrils everywhere. I'd never understood that before. Opposite of him would be the clean guy. The clean guy is, I guess, probably between the dirty guy. I fall somewhere between the dirty guy and the clean guy. I don't want shit on me, but I don't give a fuck if I get dirty. Dirty guys will be the one, or like cabinets and sheetrock and stuff had fingerprints fucking everywhere. And we're doing trim work. It's like, why do you even have dirt on your fingers? But the clean guys will be the one that have the oil rags and everything with them all day long in their back pocket. They're constantly, going to the sink or the hose, and some of y'all may not know this, but to get like foam off your spray foam off your hands and oil-based paint and stain, you can, on a new construction home, at the base of it where the granules are from the brick, when they laid the brick and the mortar and all that, you have all the little crumbs. If you mix that shit with water or mineral spirits, it gives that abrasive, and it'll clean your hands better than any rag will at all. So that kind of makes me sound like the clean guy, but I'm not the clean guy by any means. I would say next would be the safety guy. And the safety guy, I'm gonna go back to my boy D, old belt guy. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We could be going to lunch. He's gonna put gloves on. He's gonna wear gloves every day, all day. Doesn't matter what we do. Now, I know a lot of y'all are up north, at least on the TikTok side followers. Though, a good portion of those are northerners, and y'all have the whole union shit up there, and code and everything serious up there. Down here, we don't have union shit. We don't have. We have the codes. OSHA doesn't fuck with us. They don't come around. And as long as I've been in this, I've never seen OSHA one time at any residential job, and on commercial side, maybe once. But Big D, he's the safety guy. He's gonna have his gloves on. He's got a first aid kit in his truck. Now, somebody to show up and drink a beer, but he's gonna be safe about it. Always giving warnings. If you make a homemade scaffolding, he is not gonna get on it. He'll help you make it, but he ain't gonna get on it. And he's constant just, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd get on that. I don't know. And it works out well when you got him, and then you got the reckless guy who just doesn't give a fuck. You got one lighter jack, he'll make another one, and he's gonna crawl out on anything. You lay out some 4x8 sheet OSB, and he's gonna walk out to the end of it with a 3-foot cantilever overhang. The reckless guys are the kind of ones you don't want on your insurance policy, but they are good to have sometimes. We had a movie star work with us one time. Name was Corn, and he was the food guy. It didn't make a shit what city we were in, where we were working. When it came to lunch, he would say, "We need to go to Pepe's, where 4 miles down the road. They supposedly got the best burritos in town." I'm like, how the fuck? We've never even been here before. This is the first time we've been to this city. How do you know about Pepe's? Well, for the previous fucking hour, he's over there on the fucking phone Googling up restaurants. But it's everywhere. He knows where the best coffee is. He knows where the best burritos are. That's the food guy. And everybody's got to have a food guy. But it doesn't matter to me, because I am the most basic motherfucker you will ever meet. I order a hamburger, that's something that's come with ketchup only. If I get a burrito, beans only. I don't want cheese, I don't want lettuce, I do not eat vegetables. I drink sweet tea, I drink Coke, I drink Crown Royal. I don't want milk or orange juice or apple juice. I am the plainest guy. So Corn, the food guy, he didn't really help me that much. But normal people, they're pretty good to have. Detail guy, that kind of falls in with being the perfectionist, just very detail oriented. And we had a buddy named Randy that worked with us, and he was the perfectionist. And I would say he's the detail guy. I mean, he'll be in them plans for 30, 40 minutes, and I mean, he'll tell you. I mean, just you can ask him, and that some bitch will tell you. It doesn't matter what it was. I mean, it could be, you know, two interior doors swinging one way and the back swinging the other way, and fuck anything. And that son of a bitch would memorize it in that 30 minutes. I'm sure the Adderall helped, but he worked about 2.5, 3 years for me, and there wasn't a job where when we walked up, he would get the plans and he'd bring them home. And he'd bring them back, a couple, 3 or 4 days. And that motherfucker would go, he would just, I don't know how he did it. He would know. And that's, detail guys are people you want. They're worth the money. And him being like that and also being an ex-cabinet builder, being the perfectionist, he was a pretty good hand to have. I miss having him. I would say next probably be the grunt. Everybody got to have a grunt. I don't know how many trips we make to Home Depot a day, a bunch, and the lumberyard's a bunch. The lumberyards typically load the shit for you, but we used to have a grunt named Bear, and that's if we were setting 8x8s, for rustic fences, marine 8x8s, a true 8x8. He would throw a 10-footer on his shoulder, and these motherfuckers are heavy. But he would throw one on his shoulder and just take off with it. 2 sheets of plywood. It didn't matter. Biggest stack of lumber he could pick up. That son of a bitch would just take off toting with it. I mean, the grunts are good to have. They saved my back. But it's with anything, moving something, picking something up. Hell, I can't. Some of the motherfuckers just work for me, not knowing how to work trailers. Breaking the jacks off or what have you, little equipment trailers. Them grunts get out there, they pick the fucking trailer up and set it on the ground or set it on a brick. I mean, they all around good hands. They good to have. I don't know. I'd like to have like 2 or 3 detail guys, maybe some, 1 perfectionist, 2 grunts, and then just a bunch of fucking labor hands. And I think that we could turn the shit show around and make it a lot better. So, appreciate y'all checking it out, and we're just gonna fuck around and do a couple of these till it's good enough.